All right. Bachelor finale was last night. I don't care about that. Didn't watch it. All I care about is the Chris Harrison. Hashtag who got canceled. Here we go. The story happened about a month ago, but we get a lot of updates, and here to take you through them. So about a month ago, one of the contestants on this season's show, which is the first Black Bachelor, one of the contestants, a white girl, it came to light that she was at an antebellum plantation-style party. Pictures came out. This was back in 2018. And then a couple other things. She liked some things online that were insensitive. Chris Harrison ended up going on, I think Extra was the show, which was being hosted by one of the former Black Bachelorette contestants. You'll see he kind of got a little bit too comfortable and, really got into some stuff that got him in a little bit of hot water, or a lot of hot water. And now with the season finale last night, that whole situation came back into light. But here's a little audio just to get you up to speed.
After facing backlash for defending frontrunner Rachel Kirkconnell,
that's Michael Strahan.
Rachel's social media posts show her liking a photo containing a Confederate flag and attending an Old South plantation-themed party in 2018. She has since apologized for those actions.
This is the first time.
For holding me accountable.
That's a contestant.
I'm so sorry.
Harrison made this case to Rachel Lindsay, the show's first Black Bachelorette.
Here's what got him in trouble.
No, it's not a good. Well, Rachel, is it a good look in 2018 or is it not a good look in 2021?
It's
because
not
there's
a
a big
good
difference.
look ever, because she's celebrating the Old South. If I went to that party, what would I represent at that party?
I think the biggest surprise for a lot of people that this season was supposed to be a turning point for the show. We have the first Black.
All right. So that was a Rachel Lindsay interview that got Chris Harrison in trouble. He clearly had no idea of what type of trouble he was. I would just want to play you these couple clips. This I actually did back when I was doing the written hashtag Who Got Canceled blog. This was one of the first ones I had. But here's Chris Harrison. This is like, keep in mind, this is like 8 minutes in.
Falling in love with Matt, and where is that in this social conversation we're having? And I love that you and I can have these conversations. You and I have these conversations all the time, and I love that we can debate and talk back and forth. Yeah. And there's a respect, and there's a love, and there's a grace here, and that's why I love talking to you. The problem is when you are trying to react to something on social media, there is no grace. There is no understanding.
He's just he's being so arrogant, Chris. What were you thinking?
The truth lies. I'm not, running for king of the United States of America to force my decree on everybody, but there's a lot of people that are, and I don't know. And hopefully it takes conversations like you and I will have, but people will watch this, and depending on how it's edited and how it's cut, are going to have a serious opinion on how I'm speaking. And, and of course, they are. And luckily I've been around enough, I'm old enough that I know I'm compassionate, I know I have love, I know I have grace and understanding, and I'm still trying to learn. We all are, and you are. It's not like you.
Whew. All right, I just wanted to play those just to show you what his mindset was.
In that interview with Lindsay, Harrison also using a term he now says is unacceptable.
I am not the woke police. There's plenty of people who will do that for us in this world right now.
Lindsay later discussing that controversial interview on her podcast.
During that conversation, he talked over me and at me. During that conversation, his privilege was on display. He never gave me room to talk, and he never gave me room to share my perspective. He wasn't trying to hear it. He was just trying to be heard.
Harrison says he's been working closely with a, quote, race educator and strategist, along with faith leaders and scholars like Dr. Michael Eric Dyson.
Dr. Dyson often talks to me about counsel, not cancel. And that is full accountability, understanding what you didn't understand,
Hashtag Who Got Counseled?
Learning from that, seeking counsel often in the community that you hurt, learning from them, listening, gaining experience, knowledge, and moving forward.
So you are the right person to lead this franchise into the future, you feel?
I plan to be back, and I want to be back. This interview is not the finish line. There is much more work to be done, and I am excited to be a part of that change.
A lot more work to be done, Chris. I cannot agree with you more on that. And you guys know his apology is his apology, but it felt like it got nothing more than a surface response to this. And obviously, he's the man who wants to clearly stay on the show, but only time will tell if there is any meaning behind his word.
Wow. So, I don't know, a lot to say about this whole thing, but I'm not going to pull a Chris Harrison. But what I'm guessing now is because she won. So absolute worst case scenario for Chris Harrison last night was she won the final rose from The Bachelor, Matt James, the first black bachelor in 20 years, which in itself is ridiculous. The show The Bachelor should be the ones that are in trouble more than Chris Harrison. How can they get away with 20 years with not having a black bachelor in 20 years? But I digress. So the show was taped during the release of the shows, February into March, whatever, January, February, March, while we, the audience, were watching the shows. That's when the racist stuff about Rachel came out. My guess is that Chris Harrison obviously knew that she had won. So that's the only thing I can think of is why he was like defending her like that, because he knew that she won. He didn't propose to her, but he gave her his final rose or whatever. And then in the after show that was just taped like a week ago, he revealed he dumped her when all the racist stuff come out. So he picked her in the final episode and then revealed in the after show that he dumped her. So just absolute worst case scenario for Chris Harrison, because it just brings everything back into light. Like, she couldn't have just been, not given a rose a few weeks ago and had it all go away quietly. But anyway, that's what happened last night. Brought it all back in the news. Earlier this week, it was announced that he will not be hosting the next season of The Bachelorette. They're bringing in two women. Forget their name. I think one's white, one's black. They'll be hosting for the first time, like I said, in 20 years of the Bachelor franchise. So, Chris Harrison, you got canceled.